Hello everybody, welcome back. This is going to be our June project today, and I think you'll find it a lot of fun. It's going to be our Christmas in July idea. I'm going to wait till some people show up. So, hello everybody. We're just going to get some time just to make sure some people are coming in. I'm just going to hang on. Hello, Colleen. You're the only one in the room. Oh, not now. Okay. Colleen, I just want to let you know, they said okay for the front of the store next week, a week from Friday, so that's good. I got the okay today, so that should be interesting. Hello, Jane. So, yeah, it's a go. And in a perfect spot, too. Alright. I'm just starting to put some lines on here so I can explain what to do when we get to it. Here, okay. Hello, Jack and Jenny. Hello, Canada. Alright, I'm going to just start because this is going to take a while to do. What you're using is a 3.5 inch tall by 1.5 by 1.5. And we're going to start with the hat. He's going to be holding an American flag. You can have him holding a Canadian flag if you want for Dominion Day. That's what they still call it. I don't know if they call it Dominion Day. That's what I remember it as. But I'm going to mark down a couple of these things here so I know where to go with stuff here. And, alright. Yes, I'm looking forward to that day. It's coming up pretty quick. Yeah, I finally got some stuff done here. Yep. So what you want to do is you want to take your pencil. You want to mark your hat. You want to make enough room to put the eyes in. So we may have to cut it a little further back, but you can always cut it. If you don't cut it too deep to start with, you can always make it any shape you want. Alright, so it doesn't take too long. Alright. And then you're going to go up maybe 1.25 inches from the sides. I try to match them up pretty close to the same. And you're going to bring it down to the back. You're going to bring it down to the back and you're going to notch it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to notch, once you get this line, this is like a letter S and a backward letter S. That gives you that curvature on the hat. Alright, hello Randy. So if you, now I'm going to put the nose up a little higher. I like a little chubby, puffy nose. So I'm going to just put the nose there. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're putting the hat in first. Again, it's 3.5 inches tall by 1.5 by 1.5. This will be on YouTube later on as we keep going here. So I'm going to notch the top and we're going to just cut a little piece out. Alright. We're going to notch each corner out. Again, then you get your little V tool after this. It's been raining today here in Pennsylvania. It got really cooler out. I think it's in the 60s now. It's actually a little bit chilly outside right now. We had a couple of hot days here. We had beautiful weather last week. For most of the week. Okay, so once you get those all cut out, you're going to take your little V tool. Alright, and we're going to just follow the line. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit further and then bring it down. We're doing this project today. We're doing the little Santa with the American flag. If you're in Canada, you can make a Canadian flag. Do they still call it Dominion Day up there on the 1st of July? Just a question to my Canadian friends. Alright, now we're going to follow the back end here. And we're going to match all these together. That's it. Alright. Alright. Then we're going to take our little, I'm going to just use one corner of this. Let me use this one here. We're going to follow that line out again a little bit, and we're going to undercut from the bottom to the top here. Now when you do this, you don't want to stick your knife too much into, you just want to just slowly take that out. Alright. Oh, it's called Canada Day. Didn't they call it Dominion Day in the past? I thought that's Canada Day. Okay. I must be thinking of the old ways. Thank you, Jack. I knew you would correct me on that. I knew it wasn't Dominion Day anymore. Okay, and we're going to do the back side as well. This project is going to take a little bit longer than our other ones. I thought so, Jack. Well, let me see if I can cut that out. That's not coming out as easy as I thought. There we are. One thing you don't want to do with these knives is pry. You know, you don't want to pry anything out with these knives. You know, you just want to be careful with them. Okay. And let's go ahead and pull that out. Alright, so that's where we have the hat. Now we're going to put the tassel in and stuff first. So I usually put the tassel on the side, as you see there. So I'm trying to get ready for next Friday. I was just telling somebody when I first came on, I have a invitation to do demonstrations down at Midnight Gladness sale. Not this Friday, but on the 2nd. And I am looking forward to that. It's at Shady Maple at the market, and they had me in the front of the store facing 23, and I asked if they could maybe put me somewhere else since I was going to be there on Friday as well, and they put me right out front. So I got the okay today about that, and I was ecstatic to hear that. So I don't think you're going to find more people walking around than going into that grocery store, and with the events that they're having. So you're just want to draw a little circle, and you want to cut at the bottom first, cut at the top, and then you're just going to bring this down and around on both sides, kind of match it, and you're going to cut it exactly as you see it. See how my blade is straight in from when I go to the corner, it matches. It's parallel with the corner. That's how you want to cut these. That goes for the nose. It goes for anything that you're doing on the corner. Because if you do it this way, you're going to be cutting into that tassel. So, okay. And then we're going to do another cut this way, up and up. So yes, I'm very excited to go to this thing next week. We'll see what transpires. They were very nice. I had a meeting with them last week, so I got my little wagon all ready, or the trailer. Okay, now I'm going to start rounding this off a little bit, and I'm going to scoop out the front here. And we're going to scoop this out. And I can draw that to myself as well. So yes, it will be fun. I have my friend Colleen's going to help me on, I believe, on Friday. That'll be nice. And we shall see what's going to happen. Wow, hello from Louisiana. Yes, today it was warm, but it cooled off pretty quick. It's only 63 up here right now, and that's very cool for this time of year. Usually we're in our 80s and 90s by now. So I'm trimming the top of the hat off, just rounding it off. And then I'd like to cut a little bit more off on this side, but it's pretty flat at the top. The smaller knife more in some cases, but I like the bigger one when I'm trying to take things, like now, taking a lot of stuff off quickly. It's a little more heftier, so I can put a little more pressure on it. It seems that it cuts really well. So yes, I use both, actually. I use whatever is sharpest in the box, to be honest with you. You know, if it's a little one, I use a little one. If it's the big one, it's the big one. And sometimes I stick with the same knife all the way through. It depends. Yeah. I'll tell you, the feel of the big knife is a little more comfortable in your hand than the small one. But some people like the small ones because their hands are smaller. So we're going to take that rough stuff off the top. Alright. And we're going to just bring this in a little bit more. We're going to trim this off a little bit here. I might have another class in July. It will be determined yet. So I know a lot of people are going to be traveling and moving about, which is good too. It's nice to hear. Alright, there we go. Pretty well where I want it. This is going to come down a little bit more. The nice thing about the larger ones, you can clean off your carving a little easier than with the smaller one. You can reach across more when you have to. I'll probably be using both tonight anyway. I like switching them out sometimes. Especially when I start doing the smaller detail, the small one's nice for that. So. Alright, so that's pretty well the hat for now. We'll worry about the rest of it a little bit later. And we need to round this off just a tiny bit. Alright, now we're going to do the nose. Now you notice the nose is kind of fat, a little bit long, but a little bit fat at the same time. And yes, I do have hot chocolate next to me right now. So I'm going to flare this out first to give me an idea how far we're going to go here. Because the hardest part is matching both sides. That's what I find is the most difficult. And again, it doesn't look right. So let me measure. Yes, this is a little bit shorter. So let's just bring this in a little bit more. There we go. We have plenty of room for the eyes. So what we do here is we take our knife and we're going to just cut the bottom part of the nose out for now. Okay, just like so. And then I'm going to, same thing with the tassel. Your knife is exactly like this. This is how you're going to go into your piece. So you're going to go up here and you're going to just follow your line like you're looking at it from the front. Because if you go sideways, you're going to be cutting into your nose, and you don't want to do that. Now the other thing you need to do is undercut over at the top, because the deepest part is going to be right here, right where the eyes meet, right in here. So when you do this, you want to just kind of go in there and just cut it out a couple of times. If it doesn't come out free, go back and cut it again. And around the nose, you just take the tip of your knife and just go around it very carefully. There you go, just like so. Same thing over here. We're going to cut at the top. Now I'm going to scoop this out. Okay. Just kind of round the top part of the nose off first a little bit. Then I'm going to round the nose down and take that little corner off. And again, we're going just to cut a little more off where the eyes go. And I'm just going to take a knife, I'm going to slide there, just like so. Yeah, there you go. That looks good. Now we'll do the other side the same way, a little deeper again. And just slide that knife right up into that corner. There you go. That looks real good. We can take a little more off on either side. That usually works okay. And again, you can bring this down a little bit more. I'll shape that a little bit more as we go. Alright, so the next thing we're going to have to do is figure out where the beard, well actually we're going to figure out where the beard and where everything is going to sit. We're going to go ahead and put the mustache in. We're going to put the cheeks in first. I like them rounded and puffy. And I take a look at it and see if it's pretty even. It's not. Alright, and then I'm going to bring this down just a tiny bit, so it's just a little easier to do. And we're going to take this one here and we're just going to bring this down and around for his mustache. And I'm going to try to measure that pretty well the same. See if that will work. Like I said, this will be on YouTube later, so you don't need to worry about seeing all of this tonight if it takes too long. It will be up there for sure. I like a little bit deeper. Let's bring that down and around a little bit more. I'm always redoing the lines. I don't always get it the first time around. Now, they're going to be holding, so the beard's going to come down like so, right? And it's going to go into the hands here a little bit. The hands are going to be right there. So, and I'm just going to put an imaginary line right here for now to give you an idea where things are. And then this is, of course, they almost go to his mustache. So we're going to put a little line here, like so. And we forgot the feet, so let's put the feet in here real quick. I'm just going to make a line on either side. One in the front. And you notice I'm measuring everything by tapping on my finger. That's going to give me the depth that I want on it. So to make the feet, it's just going to come down like so. Alright. And this one's going to come down like so. And yeah, the back part's just a little part in the back here. Alright. Now that foot's a little higher than the other. Let's make this one a little higher. Okay. It's easier if I draw this on before I come online. Alright, so the flag itself comes down. So there's two. There's one right at the corner there, and there. And this is the hand, right? So that's that's your, and so I have this flag coming down like so. I'm going to have it a little bit different than that one. So the beard is going to be right there, okay? And we're going to bring this down a little bit lower so we don't have to put the beard anywhere down here. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. So let's keep going with this. So we have this pretty well figured out. So I'm going to go ahead and put in his cheeks. I keep knocking him over. I don't know why I'm doing that. But, alright. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to just bring this down and around. We're going to kind of follow all the lines a little bit with our V tool. It just makes it a lot easier. Okay. And up and around. Perfect. And we'll cut that out in a second. Then here is where, actually, we're going to put this here and this here. And this is going to be cut out in the corner there. So I'm going to cut this out first, and actually I need to cut out this portion. Okay. I'm just following all the lines right now because once I establish where everything goes, it's a lot easier to just take your knife and recut it. Then the lines don't go away or anything like that. And this is the foot here, so we're going to cut that out with a V tool. And we'll do everything on this side, and then we'll keep going here. You want to be careful. That corner is very important. Alright, so, and then of course his hand comes down and around. So we will follow this out and around, just like so. And his other hand comes down underneath a little bit. You can see his little cuff there and his other little hand. So let's see here. I still have the back side of this to do. Not too much going on in PA. We had a terrible thunderstorm yesterday. In fact, the thunder was so hard it shook the house, and I was talking to different people around Honeybrook, and everybody said the same thing. Some people heard 3 booms, some people heard 2. I only heard 1 here, but it was massive. And it was eerie, to be honest with you. Alright, so now I'm going to take the smaller one now, and we're going to just start cutting a little bit, these out a little bit better. And I'm going to cut from the inside and start rounding it a little bit. I'm putting a lot of stop cuts in right now. Right here where the mouth is, this is kind of important. You want to kind of go in kind of deep, take it out, and do the other one kind of deep. And you just want to, like a little triangular cut, to put his mouth in there, okay? You're going to follow this out as well. You're going to cut from the bottom up because that sticks out everything else. And we'll do the same thing over here. We're just going to kind of and bring this in a little bit. There we go. Like undercut it. So it looks like it's overlapping a little bit. And here too, you want to be a little careful because we have the pole there. So you want to kind of work around that a little bit. I'm going to bring this in a little bit here for the beard. I'll redo that mouth a little bit later. And again, we're going to come down with the beard. We're going to do that as well. And we don't want to go too crazy here, because we have to, when you look at this stuff, you have to see what is in front of what. What do I mean by that? Let me just explain. This is on top of this. This is on top of the hand. This is on top of everything. This pole is the highest part, or the one that should be sticking first, and then your hands. Okay, so you really are switching around a little bit with that. So you just have to kind of layer it to know which parts are, you know, which it comes first, and how things have to look, like which things have to be tucked underneath other stuff. And then you're going to take all these hard edges off. Once you get that done, you're just going to go around and kind of take those off. I'm going to spend more time when I'm off of here cleaning everything up. From where I'm sitting, I can't see everything, but yeah, it's been a fun week this week. It's been a busy week, trying to get ready and all that. So if you're in the area, come out and see us. Okay, I'm going to put a little triangular cut right underneath the nose, right in that corner, to make that nose pop out a little bit more. Let's see if I can do that again here. See, sometimes a little bit of depth makes a world of difference on a piece. You don't really see that until you see it with shadows and things. See how that little bit of shadow makes it look deeper. So that's what you want on some of this. So now we've got that all cut out, but we're going to bring this post out a little bit more, the flagpole. So I'm just going to cut it, take it, and just kind of sliver that off, because I want that sticking out. Okay? We're going to redo the mouth here in a minute, because it's not right anyway. We'll redo that. So if it's not right the first time, always go back and you can always fix it again, right? So there's nothing lost in that. Let's bring this in a little bit more. Let's just cut that corner off, because we want that pole to look like it's in front. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of round it off and clean that all up. Now here I'm going to redo the mouth. I'm going to try to make it a little bit deeper and a little bit wider. There we go. There we go. That's what we want. Alright, just to clean it up a little bit more. Alright. Hello, Jim and Beth. I love what you did with your trailer. You did a great job on that. They revamped an older trailer, an RV. And alright. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So now, let's see if I can just chop that out a little bit more. Okay. So this is going to come out, because this, let me think here. This is the beard. So we're going to cut this out, and we're going to underlay, we're going to put the arm underneath here a little bit more. This is the arm right here. Oh, you're welcome, Jim. And then we're going to bring this down and around a little bit more. That's going to go underneath the flag. Let me take this back here so I can see it a little bit better. It's kind of hard to see it there. Okay. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mesh this in together so it kind of looks even. I have to put lips on him yet. So this is the beard as well. So when you go to do your beard, you'll see the difference once you put the lines in for that. Okay, so this is actually, we're going to, I'm going to undercut here a little bit. I'm going to leave that flag sticking out a little bit. This is a little bit different than what I have, so I think that would look a little nicer than just flat. Okay, and then this is going to come down. Now right here, this is still part of the arm here, so we're going to cut this out. There we go. And okay, and this all looks like it's going underneath this other hand, so we're going to just undercut a little bit. You get the idea. You know, it's like a relief carving. If you know anything about relief carving, I'm going to round this off a little bit. This is the hand and we're going to just we'll bring that all down. We'll make it all run together. Hello, Rich. So technically, technically I did that wrong. Well, let's see if I can remedy. It's a little higher than I thought. So actually I'm going to bring this down a little bit more because that's part of his arm. I thought I was going to make that flag a little wider. I should have. Then I wouldn't have to do this portion. But it is what it is. Okay, there we go. So we're going to have like a nice big... Okay, we're going to cut that up. Alright, so that's going to be the other hand. This portion right here. Little, like there's two hands and a little bit of a cuff there. So that's what we're doing there. So that looks alright. I'll bring it down just a tad more. Alright, and then we'll bring this in a little bit more for the arm. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, and that's going to come out, if you see that, that's going to come out and around, because his arm is going to come down from here on over to there. Okay? Same thing over here. His arm's going to come out around up to there. This needs to be a little bit larger maybe. There we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your V tool and you're going to just cut it up and around. Alright. So this is all his arm right there, and I'm going to clean that up a little bit more. But I also have to round off his shoe. So I'm going to cut from the bottom up. Bring this down a little bit. Round this off. There we go. I'll make that flag stick out a little nicer. That's alright. I like that. It's always interesting to switch it up a little bit. You know. Alright, so that's the front part. There's his arm, that's his beard, and that's his hand, extra hand down there. So that he has folded holding the flag. Let me take this back here just for a second. Okay. Alright. So there's the flag. Okay, now we're going to cut on this side of the flag. We're going to cut down here, and we're going to just tuck this. I lost people. Colleen, are you still there? Can you text me if you are? I see you're on here. Nope. Everybody's gone. Okay. I don't know what happened with that. Anyway. Oh, there's everybody. I don't know what's happening with the video today, folks. The internet has been really screwed up. We lost it here yesterday from the storm. And that's really the first time I ever lost the internet here, since I had gotten it a year or so or more ago. And I'm just taking the rough stuff. Yeah, okay. I didn't know where all of you went. That's interesting. Welcome back, everybody. Alright, so I got the back side pretty well done. You just round off the arm a little bit more. Alright, and I'm going to round its little butt off here a little bit. And take off the hard edge like it's completely rounded to the foot. Alright. There's everybody. And I'm sitting right next to the router in the living room. So, you know, I was in the other room, but I thought maybe because of the thick walls in this old house that it was affecting it. And I don't think it really made any difference. I tried a number of different things. I made the speed faster. I paid more for that. That didn't help either. Time for a break. A hot chocolate break. Warm chocolate break. Anyway. Alright. So here, what I want to do here is I just want to round this off a little bit more. Just looks a little better. And I want it a little bit deeper right in that corner. Like I said, once I get off of here, I'll be fussing with this a little bit more. I'm trying to speed up things because I'm online and live. And, you know, I don't want it to get too monotonous for you. Alright, so that's pretty well the body portion of it. Now let's go back right now to, we'll worry about the arms and stuff later. Let's go back to his eyes. I like nice big eyes. So usually that's how big I like them, okay? Big eyes, big nose, makes things cute. Alright, so I'm going to take my knife. I'm going to spray it for a second. It just makes it a little bit softer. So this is how far we got, and I don't know how many minutes have been on here. But that's how far we got. It looks a little different than this one. Just a tad different, but it's the same idea. So now you're going to do the eyes. I usually turn it upside down. It's easier for me. And I just follow the line straight in with a stop cut. Then I go from the inside of the eye, I go down. So, just like so. Okay? And then I do the bottom part again. I take that little hard edge off. And then right in this corner, I usually put a little bit of a triangular cut. To make it look deeper. That's the eye. It's not, people always say, well, eyes are really difficult to do. They are if you do all the little, like some of the carvers, they put, you know, wrinkles underneath the eye and put an eyelid in. Now I can put an eyelid on this if you want. I can make it look like he's sleepy. And we'll do that someday. We'll do a sleeping Santa. I'll have to make one up and show you with some really big eyes so we can do that somewhere in the future. But, yeah, this is definitely interesting. So right there, right at the edge of the eye, you want to just put a little triangular cut. And that's pretty well it. Now you see this is a bit of a square edge there, so I usually take my knife and I just slowly cut that out. So that's how the eyes are done. And it doesn't take a lot of effort. It just, you have to be just very careful. Make sure you have a very sharp knife when you do it. If you don't, you're going to end up, and now I'm going to cut in a little bit more and cut this in a little bit more because I'm not too happy with that ridge there. There we go. That's a little better. And we're going to cut this down a little bit more. There we go. Alright. The other thing we're going to do here is we need to put his tassel all the way, well, I mean his brim of his hat and his cuffs. I knew I'd come to it someday. Takes me a while to think sometimes. But yeah, I'm thrilled about next Friday, that's for sure. I think it will be a lot of fun. A new experience. I haven't taken that thing out for a couple of years. In 2019, my mother was not good, so I didn't feel right going to anything and really couldn't between taking care of her and stuff. And in 20, of course, COVID hit and nobody went anywhere. And in fact, I think we're going to we didn't have our show for 2 years in a row at Lancaster. I think they're going to have it next fall, next March. And I hopefully will go to it. And that's an indoor show. But now I'm following this with a V tool. It's just a little easier to do it that way. You notice I always rest my thumb on this, so it's a little easier to maneuver. I might resume some I might resume regular classes here in September and October and November. More in November, I think. But we'll see what happens. I think in September it's going to be kind of a busy month for me, for the most part. We'll see how things go. But it will be fun. You know, and I'll come up with a couple of classes. Alright, so now when I do that with the V tool, then I go back with my knife and I recut it. And this does two things. If you do it a little bit deeper, not that you have to, but if you do it a little bit deeper, sometimes that keeps the paint from bleeding from one to the other. But you don't want it so deep that you see all these lines all over your thing, all over your carving either. So, you know, hello, Helen. Anyway, so, you know, it's up to you on how you want to make it, but I think it helps with the painting process. Because a lot of people say, well, when I paint, it bleeds all over the place. Well, there's ways to combat that. And one way is the lines that you put on. The other way is always, well, how's the word I'm looking for? Always work towards, when you're doing a color with paint, you work from the inside to the edge, not from the edge to the inside. Because if your paint is loaded on that brush, it's going to just bleed all over the place. So yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to trim this off a little bit here. Hello, Sandy. Alright, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Alright, so that's how, let's do the tassel. We need to round the tassel off a little bit more. And I'm going to make a better line there to distinguish the hat from the tassel here. There we go. Let's go up and around here. Alright, same thing over here. We're just going to take this out a little further. And then you just want to take off those hard edges. What I mean by those hard edges is the square edges that you see. You always want to kind of round things off as much as possible. Alright. A little bit around the tassel. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I'm glad to be back. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing in July. I'm not sure when or what I will do online live. I will continue doing this over the winter months sometimes, especially in January and February after Christmas. A lot of people are home and the weather's not usually good to do anything else but to do hobbies, so that's kind of my plan. So that's how you do the tassel. That's how you do. Now this is a hard edge here, so we're going to just start trimming that off a little bit more. Now I'm not going to do all the lines on here like I normally do. It's going to take too long, and I need to really clean this up before I can even paint it. Really important, you see these rough lines, like from the carving cut, I mean from the bandsaw cut or a planer, you want to make sure that you cut everything with a knife. If you don't, it's going to look blotchy when you go to paint it, because it's going to soak up a lot more of the paint. I never sand any of my pieces when I paint them. They're always just done with a knife. And this is when the longer knife comes in handy. See how far I can reach over without taking a lot off. There we go. And you just want to make sure you take all that rough stuff off. And just take everything off there. There you go. And I'll be doing that all night. I'll be fussing with it. Not all night, but, you know, for a little while until I get it. Because I'll add this to my collection. I've been trying to get enough pieces for my weekend. Normally I thought I'd have like 180, 170 pieces. I think I had 130, 120. So I've been working pretty hard to get that a little bit bigger, that inventory a little bit higher. Especially if I'm going to do this one coming up. Now the nose looks a little strange, so we're going to kind of round him up a little bit more. And we're going to just tuck this in a little bit. Just chuck that out a little bit here. And I like to have a little, like a stubby nose. See how it's a little stubby? I like that. So, hey Jack, tell Justin I miss seeing him here. Unless he's here, I don't see him. People are having fun now that they can get out a little bit more. And can you blame people? No. So I'm just cleaning things up a little bit here. Alright, so we kind of have him pretty well done except for this portion here. I'm going to take that rough stuff off with the bigger knife. And I'm going to round it a little bit. It doesn't look right if you don't round it. Alright, so let's bring this down around here. And we're going to just cut a little bit more off right there. Alright, and we're going to round this off. Alright. We're going to round that flag off too a little bit. And you want to make sure you take... Oh, we're not done with the flag yet because we have a little carving to do on that. And it's pretty simple, not difficult. What I usually do, let's take that rough stuff off first. Let's just take a bit of that off. Okay. So once you get that rough stuff off of there, you want to go back. Hello, Rhonda. Okay, so the stars and stripes I go all the way across. Okay, then I put a little, that's where the stars go, and then I do one more, and I think I do two, let's see, red, white, red, white, red. So you need two more in here. 1 and 2. I'm going to have to redo this a little bit because this is not even enough here. Alright, so when you do this, you want to make sure you take your little V tool and you can just cut these out very slowly and very carefully. and that will give you what you need here. The V-tools are wonderful, wonderful tools. You can do a lot of nifty things with them. And we're going to do 2 more lines. I'm not even following the lines I put there, but you get the idea. Alright, and that's it. And that's how you get your lines. Now, you will have to take some of that off if you got little... don't use an eraser, because an eraser will leave residue behind. It doesn't work well. Alright, so that's how I do the flag. The flag is done. And then when you go start doing your beard and stuff, so what you're going to do, I'm just going to do it quickly here to show you. I have it, the beard is going outward. Then I have this that goes up and around, right? So this goes from here up. This goes down and out. This goes down and a little bit out. And then we have to do his little feet yet. We're not done yet. Take our V-tool and we're going to put 2 lines across for his cuff. I'll show you what I do here, just real quick. There's one. I like the cuffs to be a little thicker, not real skinny. And then we have one little cuff here, so we're going to just do a little line straight down. Alright? So this is his hand going underneath this hand. And so this has to go underneath the cuff. So we're going to bring this up a little bit. And we're going to round this off a tiny bit. Alright, and we're going to, this is going to be textured, and this will be. So we have this one that we kind of shove underneath a little bit. This one we tuck underneath. This hand's coming out from underneath there. Okay, we're going to round off his hand a little bit more, or his mitten. Alright. Now he also needs a little lip here, so we're just going to, you can do it with the V-tool if you want. Just do it 1/2 towards there. Turn it around and do the other half. There's his lip. Alright, there you go. I'm trying to think what else needs to be done here. Hang on. His little, I always like to put little soles on his feet, on his shoes. If he's sitting or if he's, you know, in a standing position like this. Standing, sitting. Well, you get the drift anyway. So, there we go. And then what I do here is this little hard edge here, I just usually just bring it down so it looks like it's just kind of, that's just not a V cut. I take the square edge off at the top towards the sole. I always do that. Alright, so he's pretty well finished for the most part, except for the texturing. So I'm going to go over that real quick with you. When you texture him, I usually go in the same direction for his hat. It's always going from in a diagonal, and I follow that all the way around. So I usually do, I'm just going to do a portion of it. I usually go in one direction as I'm going around, and I keep going in that direction, and then when I kind of go back and forth a little bit. I crisscross sometimes when I do this. So I do the outside first, and then I turn it around and I do the inside at the same idea, the same stroke and angle. Okay, and then you go back and you mesh the two together. Okay, that's how I do the brim, and you do that all the way around. Okay, the mustache is not that difficult. what you want to do is you just, well, what I usually do is I do it underneath the nose first. I'll just do 1/2 to show you. Well, actually, I'll just do the whole underneath the nose. And then I scoop it from here up. Okay, from there up. So when I do this, I'm doing it from here, and I'm doing the outside, right? I'm doing the edge first. Alright, so that's 1/2, right? So we turn it upside down, and you go the other way, in the same direction as you did the top. And then you mesh them together, like you just keep, until they, you know, kind of flow together a little bit. So here I'll just turn it around and go the other way, and that's how you do the mustache. Alright, so we did that, and we did the mustache. Now the beard. Now the beard is fairly simple. It's going to flare out exactly out. So I'm going to just go up to that point. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to go towards the arm and the flag. Alright, okay, so that's part of the beard there, okay. And then the beard continues over here, so I'm going to just gently, and if that doesn't come free, you got to take your knife and you got to kind of pop them out, either with the point of the knife or the other. You see, there we go, we have it. So, and same thing here, you're just going to go all the way around, and you're having it flare out. Because if you have it going in two directions, it looks better. You can distinguish it better as well. Alright, so that would be the beard and the mustache. And then you turn it around, and you always turn it around towards an edge. Because if you do it from the, if you're trying from here over, you're going to miss a small spot between the two. So it's always good to do the outside first. You know, just do the outside and crisscross a little bit. Sometimes helps, as long as you're going in the same direction. And then you mesh it together. Go back and you just kind of, you know, until you feel that it's right. You know, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Everybody has their own method of doing these beards. Some people do a two-textured beard. I've done that already, where you use one gouge and then you use a different one. So you can see where the beard is. This is the arm. This is the little. This also has to be done. So we're just going to put a little thing there, so it looks like it's the. And the same thing over here. Turn it around and go towards the edge. It's much easier than not going from the edge to the inside. Okay, so that's pretty well how it should be, and I hope you enjoyed this quick, kind of quick class. And if you have any questions, you can ask me on Facebook. If you, you know, I do have these blocks yet. I have plenty of blocks, so if you need any for any projects, I certainly have them here. I still have some knives left, some of the carving knives and gouges. I have them all in stock now. So, but anyway, that's how it's done. And I think once I clean him up a little bit better, he'll be fine. You know, that's what they look like. And then you paint it. And painting is not difficult. It just takes some practice to do it right and to antique it. And these are antiqued already. So, all right. So take care, and we will. Yes, thank you, Jack. So come see me at Midnight Gladness if you're in the area. I'll be at Shady Maple at the front door of the market. They're going to have me where Twin Valley, I guess the Twin Valley Coffee is on one side. I'll be on the other side of the door. And I was very, very pleased with that. So I was very surprised because I'm the only vendor that's going to stay there on Saturday. So, as far as I know. So, hopefully it will go well. I'm excited, and I've got a lot more carving to do to get ready. So take care, folks, and God bless, and be careful, and we'll see you sometime in July. Bye-bye.